Joining us now, Senator Ron Johnson. Senator, it's good to have you back on. What's your reaction to this report?
Well, I think they did the right thing this time. I wish that the administration be more transparent with the American public and reveal what they were telling senators and House members yesterday. I attended that secure briefing. From my standpoint, I can't think of a piece of information that would be harmful to have the American public understand, and could have understood that over a week ago. So I've been trying to make a larger point here. The fact that we are not as open and transparent in terms of government as we should be is very harmful to this country. We do need classified material. We do need to keep some things secret, but I think we way overclassify information, and I think we withhold it from the American public and from Congress, and that's not helpful.
Senator, let's move on to this fight. The White House is now attacking you for saying Social Security should be privatized. We had showed video of then Senator Biden since 1975 demanding legislation to cut Social Security, Medicare, even VA benefits. The White House says you called Social Security, quote, a legal Ponzi scheme. What's your reaction?
Well, first of all, that's true. I did call Social Security a legal Ponzi scheme because it is. I've never talked about privatizing it. I've never said I wanted to cut it or end it or put it on the chopping block. What I have said is the greatest threat to Social Security is our out-of-control debt and deficit spending. That is what we need to get under control, and I have talked about what we ought to do is put everything together on the budget so we can start prioritizing spending. And of course, Social Security spending, Medicare, Medicaid, VA spending, defense spending would be top priorities. We had $4.9 trillion worth of revenue last year. $4.9 trillion. In 2019, before the COVID pandemic, we spent $4.4 trillion. Had we just grown spending by population growth and inflation, we spent $5.1 trillion last year. We would have been that close to balancing our budget. Instead, we've been having these spending blowouts, and we haven't even come close to getting back down to baseline. So we've got to get spending under control. We have to reduce deficits. We have to take our debt seriously. And quite honestly, we've got to be looking at everything and start prioritizing spending.
Okay. All right, let's move on to this. What is the next step after the weaponization of government, the committee's hearings? There's problems of political bias found at the DOJ, FBI, Education Department, HHS, DHS. But the Democrats, the White House, trying to chip away at the committee's credibility, saying this is just a political stunt.
No, the first step is exposing, first of all, uncovering and then exposing the truth. And we're having a very difficult time doing that. I subpoenaed FBI Director Christopher Wray. He slow-walked us. We didn't even get close to the documents that we should have gotten. They're going to be doing the same thing to the House. I think conservatives really need to start grappling with the pervasiveness and effectiveness of the left's intrusion into every institution of America and, quite honestly, institutions globally. I mean, the CCP basically captured the World Health Organization. They are the ones running the pandemic control. We have to recognize these global foundations, the impact they're having, the influence they're having on our policies. And again, because our government is not being transparent and honest with us.
Okay.
Prior Congresses have willingly granted their constitutional authority to the executive branch. They've willingly accepted it, and that has grown their power. And of course, information is power, so they cling to it. We need a far more transparent process. We need Congress to reclaim its constitutional authority, and we need to hold the people in the executive branch accountable.
So isn't
we need the truth. It needs to be exposed.
So you've sent dozens of letters, I think more than 50 letters, demanding, information for your oversight role as senator. Isn't that proof that the government is politicized? I mean, how can DOJ and government agencies not answer your letters for oversight? They're doing that to Jim Jordan, too. He sent over 100 letters. Since when can U.S. government workers block your oversight? And the Democrats say the committee itself is weaponized. Doesn't it seem like politicized officials in government are stonewalling oversight?
That is what's happening. And by the way, the 50 letters are just having to do with COVID. I have well over 100 oversight letters to all branches of government. But just if you want to just focus on COVID, again, 50 oversight letters. I'm asking questions. I'm asking for information the American public needs to have. What happened to our safety surveillance systems? What analysis has the HHS and the FDA and CDC done on their own VAERS system? Over 34,000 deaths globally on the VAERS system. 25.5% of those are occurring on day 0, 1, or 2 following vaccination. And yet there's nothing to see here. There's no cause for concern. They removed a eye drop product with 1 death. The swine flu vaccine, that was pulled after a couple dozen deaths. 400 or 500 cases of Guillain-Barré disease. We have over 1.5 million adverse events reported.
But now we're going to talk about this later in the show. Dr. Fauci, in January last month, just released a new study he co-authored saying the COVID vaccines do not work. They're not effective. That's in this study that he co-authored with 2 other scientists. I mean, this is scary stuff, Senator. That's Dr. Fauci saying the COVID vaccines don't work after vaccine mandates ended up causing workers to be fired, first responders, health workers fired, troops let go and fired, and people censored, even doctors censored on Twitter.
And Elizabeth, I've been raising this alarm since at least as early as March or April of 2021. And I've been roundly censored and vilified for just trying to expose the truth, just trying to provide the American public with a second opinion based on what the Anthony Fauci's and Francis Collins's and Walensky's of the world are telling us. They're not telling us the truth. They're not being transparent. Okay. And now Fauci, now he's retired. Now they're trying to get absolution for this. They're looking for amnesty for their miserably failed response to COVID.
We got to turn to
need the truth.
We got to turn to Hunter Biden. Let's get your reaction to what Senator Chuck Grassley testified on FBI whistleblowers claiming the FBI does have voluminous evidence of criminality in the Biden family's deal-making. Watch this.
Other whistleblower disclosures to my office make clear that the FBI has within its possession very significant, impactful, and voluminous evidence with respect to potential criminal conduct by Hunter and James Biden. These disclosures also allege that Joe Biden was aware of Hunter Biden's business arrangements and may have been involved in some of them. We still aren't sure what's been done with this information.
That's a heavy charge. What is the criminality?
Well, tax evasion potentially, I don't know, cavorting with prostitutes that are trafficked through international trafficking organizations. Listen, there is all kinds of potential wrongdoing hiding in plain sight, but the mainstream media has been censoring this. Again, the American public deserves the truth on this to determine exactly how compromised Joe Biden is and what his culpability might be as well.
Well, Hunter Biden's attorneys are rejecting House oversight requests for records. They offered to instead sit down with House Oversight Chair James Comer. Senator, media keeps saying there's no evidence President Biden benefit from Hunter Biden's business deals, but Biden's Treasury Department is blocking the release of 150 suspicious activity reports U.S. banks sent to the Treasury on the Biden family deal-making. That's according to reports. Your final word on this?
So a real investigation would already have obtained all the bank records going in and out of all of Hunter Biden's accounts, and then trace those to potential accounts that Joe Biden might have set up. It may be complex, but it's doable, but you need to have the power to do it. The Justice Department has that power. I just don't think they're utilizing it.
Got it. Thank you, Senator Ron Johnson. We really appreciate you coming on. It's good to see you.